Bounce you down. It's been seconds. Reverse the moment. There we go, and suddenly I look at this and my face pops up. Bonjour tout le monde. I've had this on mute for the past 8 hours, so I assume marathon. My name is whatever it says right above my head, and I am playing GG Aleste. And thankfully to Retrothon, who have allowed me to play on original hardware today. As you can see, I've kept things very nice since. And I am completely unprepared for this. So, with that in mind, we will start this, and because I am an idiot, we will play this on special, which is the hard mode. And I hope I'll be able to set this up correctly. 3, 2, 1, go. But this is a speed run in its own right, because round 1, there is a timer at the bottom of the screen. So this, what makes this special first of all, we will be able to see in just a little moment, hopefully. This is obviously a Game Gear game. There we go. Every single enemy here is going to give me a nice, juicy revenge bullet, which I'm going to have to dodge out of the way. And it means that this first stage is one of the most difficult, because I am very underpowered, as was the style at the time, and I need to collect certain power-ups, like these little P-pills here, and hope that I'll be able to become more powerful in going on. So, I may have lied to you, this is not exactly original hardware. As you can see, there is overlays going on, and this is actually a re-release, which was from a couple of years ago, 2020, by M2. No, not the ones that made the Resident Evil 3 remake, whatever happened to them. No, they're the ones that made your favourite commercial emulation products. Pretty much everything emulated with regards to Sega and Yakuza, the Mega Drive Mini and the Mega Drive Switch thing, and also have their own line, their own little sub-label, Shot Trick. Regularly ports old shmups for new platforms, mostly Switch and PS4, but once upon a time that used the Xbox, and this is one of them. So using their not quite famous but probably should be Master System emulator, they brought this out, and they did something absolutely amazing for it for modern audiences. They gave an option to remove the slowdown, which is why we don't measure this in terms of the high score or score itself, because that's not fair. If I want the highest score, I play on is just with the slowdown. So instead, this became a speed run, and this was unofficially, in my mind only, the best speed run game of 2020, along with all of the other Aleste games that are part of this collection, with the exception of one. So why on earth did I have a traditional speed run timer? I don't know, I just like but because of that, it means that special mode is a lot harder, because these bits are going to come at a much more speed. As a result of that, I kind of have to rethink my normal strategy here. But there are other things which make this kind of speedrun friendly. This is the only game in the collection, but you'll notice at the bottom left-hand side of the corner there is a thing which is displaying all of my inputs, and you'll see that the one button is going absolutely crazy in this moment, because I've set this to auto-fire. Now, auto-fire is an interesting concept with regards to shmups. Sometimes it can absolutely break games, but it does make them immensely more playable, and this is one of the examples of both. So it's not going to help me much during the stages, but we are coming up to the mini boss over here, and I'm just going to stay here. By the way, flashing lights, I forgot to say, if you are sensitive to that, firstly, I mean, this is probably not the marathon for you, but there are going to be a lot of that for every single boss. So look how quickly that was one cycle, and off we go. But that timer did not split. Stage is not over. But we're going into space, the final frontier, through the tunnel, into the deepest, darkest depths. And what we're going to do, we're going to shoot more stuff. But I have tools at my resources, firstly in order to make myself more powerful. So we see all these P-pills here. They will increase my power slowly but surely. You'll be able to see the progress for that in the top right-hand side of the screen. We also have my sub-weapon, so this is a one-button game. My button, it fires my main shot on whatever sub-weapon I've got. So I've got the wave at the moment. I could pick up that homing, but that would be absolutely horrendous. And these have levels up to, and you can see just below the shot indicator, my wave is currently at level 3. So one more, and that'll be perfect. But I'm going to have a lot way to go to in order to get the max shot level. So every time I pick up a power-up, no matter what power-up it is, I will gain a little bit of infinity. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I am going to abuse that. I am really going to abuse that. So we're coming up to a boss right now. It actually is a boss because you see there is a split. So it is a giant cannon. What do you do with a giant cannon? You don't go right in front of it. But what was it? It was a Decepticon. So I'm going to shoot it much like my hero Optimus Prime. And there we go. That is done because of the power of auto-fire. And now, after a nice cup of tea, because I am English after all, I'm going to put on the captain's hat, because, no, the captain's hat going to fall off, because, you know, I don't get them big enough for round 2, the obligatory water stage. As you can see, all of these tiles repeating over and over again, it really is screwing my mind. So we'll start to see that not all enemies give revenge bullets, but I'm going to change to this napalm. Now, what the napalm does is it will destroy anything in its path, including bullets, which is going to be very, very useful for the difficult moments. So this is stage 2 out of 8. And we are just going to repeat this over for a little bit. But we have a little bit of a surprise coming up, so the boss is going to be a bit more early. After this wave here. Of course, if I was feeling a little bit cheeky, I would talk about a town where I was born. For a man who loved to sail the sea and all of that. But alas, I don't think Retro Gaming Live can probably DMCA from the beat. So, I notice the guys behind me. I have to lure them, but now we come to our 8-bit submarine. 8-bit submarine. We all live in an 8-bit submarine. An 8-bit submarine. But that's going to be going real quick. And there you can see the napalm at work doing it. Now we have to get rid of the captain's hat because we're coming towards coast of the land, so if this was a more modern shoot-em-up game like Raiden 5, then we would get a codec message coming up right about now to say that the president has been kidnapped. There may or may not be a Metal Gear involved, and we are going towards Big Shell. So the rules are going to be the same, but there are going to be a lot more turrets, but because they're turrets, they're not going to have many revenge bullets that are going to be spewed our way. The difficulty with the napalm is that I lack the ability to shoot behind, especially when it comes to these ones here. So if I leave them long enough, then they will spew bullets, but hey, we got these lovely little green aliens. Of course, if people will ask, what is your favourite part of Final Fantasy VIII? They're just space, and they shot all the aliens with their gun bullets, and I am in very much trouble. Okay. I'm going to take this defense ring now. So this is in preparation of the next phase, and I will take that. So it does become a bit of an issue that you're not just avoiding the bullets in an Aleste game, you're also dodging the power-ups. So you're wanting, especially on the special modes, you're wanting specific power-ups for specific situations. So for this one, I'm just going to prepare for the next one, but it's not like really. Flashing lights, please look away if you are sensitive to it, because this one is probably one of the more extreme examples. Not at the moment, because at the moment we have to deal with the little satellites on the right. Once that's done though, you can kind of see hints of it. It's going to be now. Look at that red, look at that. I mean, how did people acceptable at the time? There we go, that's done. Stay. Oh. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat now. Someone's saying that they don't think arcades are... I mean, that's just... I didn't realise this was the kind of marathon where we spew that kind of conspiracy theory. But here we are, the Mines of Moria. This was 1991, by the way. You know what the best handheld shmup was in 1991? It was those 2 levels in Super Mario Land. It was the Batwing levels in Batman Game Boy. You would talk about the links, but no one had the links. At least not I knew had the links. But this really was revolutionary in terms of taking that arcade experience, which may or may not exist, who you ask in the chat, and translating that into an 8-bit format, which will of course eat batteries on a regular basis, and the main reason why so many of us in the 90s lived in poverty. And there is my first. Oh. So it's a little bit difficult in making sure that none of these bullets sneak. So anyway, but thankfully we got the power up for the main shot just from that. So what does death mean? Thankfully I get to explain that very, very quickly. Death means that we drop down one level. Drop down one level on our main weapon and on our sub weapon. Now, Please, thank you. Oh, sorry, this really is the hardest level in the game in terms of actually maintaining a run. Basically, immediate goal for this is to make it to level 4. And I'll explain why level 4 is such an important checkpoint. But really, as a result of that, is just surviving and making sure that all lives stay intact. But at the moment, we have 4 extra lives. An extra life is given every 100,000 points, and I've taken one power up. It's okay, I've taken a power up which has ability to eat up all the bullets, which there are certainly worse power ups I could have taken. Now, you'll find out in the some of the later games, in some of the investigate, that there is the option to change the power ups which you received by just waiting. But unfortunately for this one, all of the power-ups are fixed, and I die again. Oh, I didn't. So as a result of that, yes, always when you're in stages like this, yeah, you're having to kind of get worried about the efficiency of your napalm. Then the wrong one could be. Hey, we've got a choo-choo train, which is going to show the excellent sprite scaling capability of the Game Gear. Yes, Neo Geo, eat your heart out. This is 1991 technology at its finest. But in terms of this, in terms of the boss, it's exactly a very difficult, especially I mean, I could just, there probably is a safe spot, but I'm not really. And then when it comes out, it's boss and just and it's done. Ooh. So we have effectively won the game now, even though there are still many more stages to go. But the reason why we have won the game is because, well, I mean, I know that the auto-scrollers get a bad rep, but I'd like to think the shoot-'em-up games are a good kind of auto-scroller, but there is auto-scroller sections within an auto-scroller. And this is it, this is the bonus area. But unfortunately for this bonus area, I am having to pay attention because it's a very good source of bonus and points and P-pills. And the P-pills are very important to pretend that we are doing a speedrun on this, because what governs a speedrun normally in terms of a shoot-'em-up game, well, we have to stay as powerful as possible, we have to limit the slowdown, which we've done automatically too, and we have to make sure that we don't die, but certainly if we die, then we have to deal with recovery somehow. Because of that, I have to make sure that I collect all of the P-pills. Now, there is no danger here because there is no hit detection. So I can slam myself into the middle, no penalty whatsoever, but there will be an additional bonus extra other than these P-pills and all of the and that will come, and that will be a very nice position for what comes next. I see that there is a comment asking whether I'm going to do special on all of them. No, I'm not. It's as people can attest to, this is quite difficult talking and shooting at the same time. Certainly, some of these games are a little bit silly in terms. Even Game Gear, especially when you switch and slow down. But I have now got level 7, which means my shots type turns into arrows. And that means I've got one level until it's max level. So you'll see that I need about 12, and you'll see there I got 200,000 points. One extra life is 100,000 points, so for all of those enemies, then I get 2 extra lives. Fantastic. I've got 7 extra lives. Now, that's not going to be the only bonus area. So what I need to do is make sure that I just don't do anything silly until the next one comes along. And we have this lovely effect here, which obviously reminds me of a lovely little Hero Ranger that still has not got just a ship. But instead we can live it through this only for a short while. And this little boss is a bit of an interesting one in terms of placement, especially with auto-fire. Now, you don't want to be straight ahead, but you have to be conscious of those enemies that are going to come right out the hangar. Right, that's first phase, and second phase, it doesn't really matter, I'm just going to run. Ooh. Yes, GGA 3 special is hard, but thankfully the normal one gives you enough difficulty for the last few steps. Especially when I'm playing with the added drama of actually being, I joke. So round 5, 1987. It started a bit of a trope. Instead of having a normal stage where you just fight your way through, you have a giant spaceship that you take apart piece by piece. It was R-Type, or maybe it was Thunder Cross first. And since then, many games have copied it, just swapping it out for a giant little spaceship, and here is ours in 8-bit form. Now, with the special, extra life, yes, with the special, only air units give revenge bullets. Therefore, there is no extra danger on this stage compared to what you find on them. So, I'm going to do the age-old sweep, left to right. Got to go a little bit behind those cannons in order to take those out, and hope that terrible happens. And as long as you've got decent power, this is absolutely, and this very, very little to memorize apart. Yeah. That doesn't mean that there isn't a boss, and you'll see the split, but this would be a nice time to relax if it were not for the fact that I need answer. Okay, here we're coming to a scary face. Does that mean that the boss is going to be on it? Who knows? Who knows? I like I've played this game before. Actually, you can tell I've played this game before. It's a part of the M2 one, they have a medal system. So you can see, basically, alright, there we go, that's done. So you get a gold medal if you do it all with, without being hit. If you get hit once, you get a silver. If you get more than once, you get a bronze. But there we go, round 6. I should have drunk some. So we're going into the desert, the very basic desert. Still impressive for 91, but another bonus area. So there we go. As long as I do this correctly, I'll get another 200,000 points. And I should be able to get to, yep, I am at max power. So that should be, as long as I remember to go in the right direction, which I haven't at all, then it should be okay getting all of it. But, see, if I don't do things like that, that would be nice. But I think it's going to be realizing, the game is going to realize that maybe this is not visually interesting to do. It's going to go into the realms of horror. Of course, the developers of this Compile, who later go on to exclusive video games, they did make some rather terrifying, certainly shoot 'em up with themes. Now the lights have gone off. I'm scared. Someone would hold me. But here I am commentating. Not even anyone on Discord can comfort me right now. On. Oh, the music's going on. The music's still very cheerful. Completely contrary to all of this. Oh no, there's a red light. Oh no. Oh no. I've gone somewhere where I really shouldn't have. Oh. Oh, no. No. Okay, thank you. Right, perfect. 200,000. 10 extra lives. I got more extra lives than that. But more is to come. So that's the last bonus area in the game, but there will be a massive amount of extra lives, which will be my way about 113,000 points. Because there will be an extra bonus for reaching 1,000,000 points. Which as long as I don't do anything absolutely ridiculous, it should be on. But eventually, someone is going to turn the lights on. Please, there we go. And, okay, we're still in the desert, but we seem to be in some kind of base that has giant mouths spitting out at me. Have to do dodging. Screwed up placement there. So at the moment, so for the P-pills, it doesn't really matter if I like to pick them up because it's always nice practice. But certainly I've achieved everything that I've wanted to. Got max power, is counting up to absolute particular. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's counting up high. And if I die now because I'm at max level, and so the loss of P-pills is only going to be about 20. We have these little tanks though. Which are making things ever so troublesome. Throwing some of my weight. Now the napalm is not black science. Shocking, I know, considering based on. very, very difficult to understand. Oh. Okay, that's done. You get to live another day. So, really, flashing lights. Flashing lights. If you are really bad for it. But again, we have to take care of all the side things. Side turrets. There are going to be a lot of bullets spewed out my way. I'm not entirely sure that napalm's going to fire off. One more, and now. So, what do we do when we come across a giant base? Well, there's a hole, we're going to go into it. There we go, round 7. And we've got 18,000 to go until our next extend. We've got 11 lives. I think we're on. I can do absolutely terribly on this. And this is where you find out, yes, there is in fact a story. Who is this Moonchild? Well, we'll find out at the end. But Moonchild is an organization that's taken over Earth. And actually, I am Eleanor Weisen. And I am dead. Ooh. That was bound to happen. I am Eleanor Weisen. Weisen obviously being kind of German orphan, and I am exactly that. I am on a suicide mission because my grandfather has designed a ship for me, and this ship is going to be the last hope of humanity. No one asked me this, but of course I am in fact Mary Sue in all of this, and I am specially trained. No one does things better than me, therefore, despite my grandfather designing the ship, he has decided that I'm the best life away. But alas, I have. So we. Oh, and down we go to yet another corridor. Yes, I don't really know why they've wanted to extend this experience longer than it should. Certainly shmups, even at this time, are known as lasting anything 20 minutes. But hey, here we have corridors. 4 corridors, Final Fantasy, and other one. You may have your own. On your face. I won't. Okay, so this game actually never came out outside of Japan, so the fact that it says Moonchild in English is very disappointing. And this collection also never officially came out of Japan, but it was a little bit easier to than it was back in the day. But this won't be true for all of the elements. I have to change the name because Aleste probably French for environment. So. Again, up to a boss that acts like a boss. Right. There we go. So I've now got 17 lives. That is what I mean by if I get to the 4th stage relatively unscathed, then it's effectively won the game. But there we go. We are going down. Because when you die, you respawn instantly. Then that means that, yes, I can probably just spam my lives all the way. No, I won't, because I'm nearly at max level, so... But unfortunately, as you can see, so the lovely little satellites that give me my power-ups, if I shoot them too early on screen, and this is the only game where this happens, it will eat some of my P-pills. So I'm... No. And because I was only on the precipice of level 7, it means 6. And this is where it starts to get very, very... Hey, this is why it's the only way I can get special and rotating at the same time. Because the game gives me enough lives for me to be smashing copy. So, he's going, but like a Vulcan bird of prey, there he goes. This is how I am, but I've taken off its nose. There we go, I got my revenge. And lower we go, and what will await us? Another corridor. But is this the corridor that's going to have where he's going to show his act? See, probably not. But that is fine. So, yep, there he is with his anger. So he's going to spread shots there, but very kind for me. Actually, I get quite bad. Gotta manage the guys that are coming up from on the behind me. sometimes if you leave them long enough, they can have an additional shot. Can complicate. Oh, we got on that. And is this going to be the final boss of this stage? No, but we've got two there, and you know what? I've got second nose. There we go. Second nose is broken. And off it goes down, and we go down. Blub, 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 blub. I cannot do Mario Warp Pipe impersonations, but here we go. It's another corridor. Is it going to be another the final corridor? I don't know. We can only hope that this will be the end. But it's more of the same. Now, of course, it was it was a very limited machine that you can only do so much, and it was a perfectly valid design choice at the time of, you know what, do the same thing just for enemies. But yeah. It's fine, I've still got 16. And we just do more and more combinations. And certainly if you look at the amount of indie shmups that are being made nowadays, it's a design philosophy that others use as well. Now, we're coming up to the final clearing. Is it the final clearing? Again, probably flashing lights. I can't really run. Oh yes, no, I've... not attacking him. So, yes, you shoot at him a bit, he settles down, and then leaves it to his friends. Down to the other side. And start spewing out bullets. This is why napalm is our best friend. And we just stay there. And with the power of auto fire, 30 Hz, we are going down the hole. Down, 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 down. And considering we're in the desert and we went down 4 or 5 different holes, what are we doing here? Apparently we're in space. I don't know if we're in space or if we're going through R-Type's bio phase. All of the shmups during bio phase. So, unfortunately, with this kind of brown background, it makes the bullets difficult to see, which, if the slowdown was turned on, or rather if it performed exactly like original hardware, then I could possibly have some more. But unfortunately, because of that, and again to talk about my general competence, sometimes I'm going to get out for it. But it's okay. There will be future electric games. Learn about what happened from the Game Gear, and the second one has something revolutionary. Design choices. Pupils abuse the invincibility, and so for those spinny ones, if I don't feel comfortable, they won't fire at them. So there we go. Now we're going to have coloured balls being thrown at me, because nothing is scarier in this life than. There we go. That's done. That is the first mini boss, and I'm direction. It's okay. Because somehow I... Whoa, 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 whoa. I wish I could say that was intent. Pull those out, and now we come to the second mini-boss, not quite the final mini-boss. Now I want to take care of this central pillar, central to left and right. And now I have to go towards the center, and that was... Okay, this is the final... mini-boss. This is Wolf Mother. I don't know what the official name is, but it's half wolf, half mother. Now, blinking, you miss it. Because I died. Wow, I was really not expecting that to go on. Usually these phases are quite quick. So, first phase done, second phase done. But I was a little... Third phase. Done. Fourth phase. Done. Now, what was she the mother of? A bit of a spoiler for Mass Effect 3. So here is a space child, and the space child is offering us a choice of colours. But I'm going to take the obvious choice and shoot. Now. No. It's a problem of being underpowered, and that is time. Ooh, 2847. That is not particularly brilliant, but considering the amount of people that played this game on special, probably about top 15. And as I said, the ranking board on this is determined entirely on time. This is the most popular speed game of 2020. more popular than Super Mario 64 70 Star on original. And if you thought that Final Fantasy VIII was bad with its forced 15 frames per second, look at this beauty. Look at it go. Okay, right, that was GG Aleste 1. And we have saved the galaxy. There is my final score. I think that's done. There was obviously, since the galaxy is saved, there is absolutely no need for me whatsoever to carry on this great fight. Yes, the batteries of the Game Gear have run out. That power light is getting ever and ever dimmer. So, yes, good luck to whoever the next runner is, whatever the next challenge is. I'm sure that it will be a tough job to follow. Thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye. And for anyone on the staff, you can let Right, this is awkward. What are you doing here? My job was done. I saved the galaxy. There was a nice little 5 frames per second cutscene. Oh no. Oh no, they did it again, didn't they? Oh, the galaxy is once again under threat, and here I am, my Lance Bird, for GG Aleste 2. Damn. Well, I mean, obviously I said that I wouldn't do it, so my name is no longer SpaceFin. My name is now, think of 2 nouns, Quail Egg Tortilla. Yes, that'll work. Yeah, go follow that person. And here I am with GG Aleste 2, which actually was released in Europe. But alas, I'm picking the Japanese version because it has that little subtitle. Now, you are actually able to see because I have not reset my time.